Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the semifinal of World T20 2026. What do you think about the semifinal?
Oh, today's game was fun, but the first semifinal was very one-sided. I expected a lot of fight from South Africa, but it was not the case.
I think the South Africa had a disadvantage of losing the toss and having to bat first because I think in that pitch it would have been very difficult to anticipate how much run would have been enough. I feel like it's lucky they got to 169. Don't you think so?
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? The during last episode too, you mentioned that T20 should not be a game where toss decides the fate of the game, right? And yeah, it's unfortunate, but again, in the when they were defending the total, it seemed like they were not really trying. They were just not trying out new things, right? New Zealand, they introduced spinner in the power play, but South Africa did not. And that was where I think they lost the game. Like they didn't even fight, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, I think they felt defeated with the amount of run they had put on the board because previous game there was 200 odd and like it was a very high scoring game, and they also knew that the day would come and it's gonna be difficult to defend it. So I feel like their morale was down already just getting to 169.
Yeah, but again, right? Like, I don't know about you, but for me, when I think about South Africa, I remember the game where they chased 434 against Australia, right? So I
That
remember
was
that
different
for South
time though.
Africa. Yes, but
Yeah,
again,
but that's
South
different
Africa is
time.
equals to Mission Impossible possible, right? So that's what South Africa
Yeah,
is
but
for me.
also they are kind of a choker too. They tend to choke a lot. So
Um,
I wouldn't say today was a choke. I think today was a
mm,
brilliant effort from New Zealand's bowling. I think they had specific plan for each and every batter on
mhm.
South African side.
Yeah,
So again, it was a tough match for South Africa to win when they only ended up scoring 169.
yep, that's true. But again,
Yeah, but
it
also
was
I
Finn Allen, right? Like he played like really, really good innings. So like 33 balls
crazy,
for century,
crazy.
only four
Yeah,
dot balls. That was
that's
outstanding.
insane. That means like
Yeah.
28 ball 100 to be like technically 100. So that's like more than 3 runs a ball.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that means he was hitting 4 or 6 every
Mm,
second or third ball.
yeah.
It was a wild inning. When you talk about the fight, right? I think they did not introduce spin. They didn't try to do something different either.
Hmm. Yeah. So like all six overs of the power play was fast ballers, and they were getting beaten, but they didn't change it, right? So that was,
Yeah,
I
I
guess, what.
mean, when you have 84 run in power play, it's it's tough.
Yeah.
But I think again, retrospect. But there was one fairly easy catch that was dropped
Yeah, this World Cup has
in
been tale of like drop catches.
yeah, we're gonna talk about catches in second segment when you talk about India and England. But yeah, it was pretty. Again, it was very one sided. After 169, I didn't really even pay attention. But man, that over was wild. How he got to his 100 though.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like it was, I was like hoping for it, and he got it, and it was really good moment. Like the way he got his century was really cool.
I mean, you're about to finish game in 13 over. It's better to just try to get it. Worst
Yeah,
come worst, you're gonna be out. Somebody else gonna come and get that 2 run or 1 run, whatever they needed. So
yep,
man, yeah.
and
If you just bring that second inning into first inning,
uh,
again the approach would have been different. But you are
oh yeah,
looking at 300 plus run in that pitch.
hmm,
They were one down, 170 372 run in like 12.4 over or 5 over.
Hmm. Yeah, 12.5. And
Yeah.
so one of the things that struck me was that in this World Cup throughout, right, most of the team have introduced spin bowlers in the power play, right? And not
Yep.
introducing spinner in the power play seemed to be very odd to me, right?
Yeah, again, it's like trying something different. If something is
Mm,
not working, try
yeah.
something. And Kesab Maharaja is pretty good. I mean,
I think like he only bowled like once or twice in this World Cup in power play, so maybe they were not really comfortable with him bowling in the power play team. But
right.
again, yeah.
But yeah, that game again, it's very forgettable game. You don't even want to think about it, because that game was so one-sided, very boring. Like when Batul again, if you're a New Zealand fan, it's not boring. But if you are, if you are, if you are like a neutral observer, neutral watcher like us, it was like, yeah, game is done.
See
I think
again,
100 is
right?
crazy.
Yeah, again, South Africa was the team that defeated India, so it would have been fun for the final to have them both in
Yeah,
the final, right? It would
but
have been
again,
like
like
almost
repeat of
even
last
game.
last time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but
So, what do you think
this is
about the New Zealand chances in the final against India?
let us first talk about India and England first, and then and
Okay.
then let's get to that. Man, it was a game. I
Oh,
don't know why in my guts I felt like even 254 run would be a very interesting game. Did you expect that, or did you thought 254 India should just win it easy?
no, like England is really good team, right? Like they were fighting. They were fighting till the end. Even Jeffrey Archer, their last over was still going, right? So yeah, I was expecting close game, and it was a close game.
Yeah, it ended up being close game. Plus, there are man. I don't know how Harry Brook gonna sleep like slept last night or gonna sleep for a week. Dropping Sanju Samson
Oh
on
yeah,
15, and that guy goes and gets 92, 89 or 92 runs of 48 balls. Oh my goodness, man. That was an easy catch too. It was not like a hard catch.
that was a crime, man. That was a crime.
It was pretty crazy because I think they ended up dropping two catchers.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
think the other one was fairly tough, but at that point, when you have 140 runs in first 12 over, like it's rough. And did you see Jofra Archer's stat?
yeah. He's 62. He went for 62, something like that, right? 60
Yeah,
plus.
60 run. Yeah, and Vikram Chakravarti ended up giving up 64 runs
Yeah,
in his
Varun
four
Chakravarti.
over.
Hmm.
Varun Chakravarti, man, it again. What happened on first inning is what happened on first inning. Back to back game of Sanju Samson with like brilliant scores, such a good form. Again, Abhishek Sharma is still struggling. He cannot- Do you think they're gonna drop him on final? I'm like, dude, you're not even scoring anything. Should we drop you?
No, it's no. I don't think they will drop him in the final because they haven't dropped him yet. So I don't think they will drop
Yeah.
him
But
because
man, he
the
has
thing
had a
is,
horrible.
yeah. So one thing in this game, like India was trying to, or throughout the innings, is when they were batting, they were having like right and left combination, right? If the left-hander got out, then they would send the left-hander batter. So that was Abhishek Sharma would add that because they will have that left-right combination since the beginning. They can have Ishan
Mhm.
Kishan in the opening, but again, like having Abhishek Sharma would force the opponent to have a plan against him, right? So I guess they will not drop him just for that factor.
Yeah, I don't think they will drop him either. It's just something to think about. So the crazy thing about India, I think I'm jumping a little bit forward. We're
Mm.
gonna talk a little bit more specific in between too. But one thing about India against in this particular World Cup is Chakravarti and Abhishek Sharma were the most informed players,
Uh-huh.
bowling and batting wise, and both of them have not really performed well. But India is still able to get to the finals, which shows how deep their team is, both by bowling and both by batting.
Yeah. So again, like Abhishek Sharma, like there's Bumrah as well, right? But his presence only, right? Like it rattles the opponent. So if you have
It
noticed,
was
Bumrah, yeah,
it was it was the best captaincy, right? What
yeah,
they did was they made sure Bumrah had one over left toward the end, because if you think about it, the way Jack and what is his name, Bethel, right?
mhm.
Yeah, Bethel and Jack, the way they were going in middle over, 11, 12 over, I feel like Surya Kumar, they were like, just let me finish Bumrah and get one wicket. We are back in the
Uh-huh.
game. Like, we should win it easy from there. But just to like hold on to that urge until 17th, 18th inning, just to keep one, like,
Yeah.
because if you think
Also,
about it, if that 18th inning went for more than 6 runs, this would be completely different game.
mhm. True. Yeah. So like even Sanju Samson during his play of the match acceptance, right? He mentioned that he thanked Bumrah, right? Because
Yeah, I
I think
feel
that
like they
that changed the
should.
momentum, right? So yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because they were going like, and I know everybody gonna look at the Hardik Pandya's over and
Uh,
say he got, oh my, we'll talk about the catch in a bit, but he got Kern out and game changed. But the reason Kern had to place that kind of shot, which was a really good shot, was because of that Bumrah's over, which only went for 6. So now
uh,
they needed 40 runs to win from 12 balls.
yeah, and again, like the way they use Bumrah since the beginning, right? Like Bumrah was there, but they introduced him like in like fourth or fifth over only, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that forced the opponent, the batters, to go on early against Hardik Pandya, and that's when they lost the
Right,
wicket, right? Because
right,
then
right.
they know in the back of their mind that Bumrah is yet to come, so we have to go against someone, right? And that's how
Yeah.
they ended up losing the wicket. So that was really good planning.
Yeah, again, we can say anything about Indian team, but one thing I realized is if you are a really good team,
Uh,
you'll figure out to win a game even if you are not having best tournament, right? Like
uh-huh.
your best player are not having best tournament, as we talk about it. Like Abhishek and Chakravarti both were not having good tournament. Still, India is in final. They were not fielding good until this particular game. They still went in finals. It's like when you have depth in everything, like that's the
Yep.
that's the symptom of a really good
See,
team. And those two
it
catches, man.
it feels like India has one extra player altogether, right? One extra batter, one extra bowler, one extra fielder, and they actually have like two wicket keepers in their squad as well, right? So yeah, it's pretty cool, yeah, that they have that much depth.
But do you think it kind of exposes India for the game against New Zealand when they gave up? I know they won, right, and they were playing
Uh,
with a lot of runs. That means that they would go for run. But man, 246 is lot of runs. Do you think that might be advantage for New Zealand to see, hey, the only bowler that is really in form is Bumrah. So let us get 20 run out of Bumrah's over. You have still have 16 overs left. Do you think that can be an advantage for New Zealand?
yeah, that's the thing, right? Again, if you know Bumrah is coming, and if uh, they have not introduced Bumrah yet, then you have to go against Hardik Pandya or Arshdeep or Aksar or someone, right? Whom would you pick? That is the question, right? And today, England tried to pick Hardik early on, and they ended up losing wickets. So that might be the same gameplay.
Yeah, I was looking at the stat of that particular ground, Ahmedabad. I think fast bowler takes like 70% of the wicket, and first inning total is around 180. So it almost looks like it's reverse of what happened in this ground. You want to win the
Mhm.
toss, bat first, and then try to defend it later on.
So how is the dew condition in the that ground? Do you know?
I didn't really look at a lot of detail about the dew, but I think
Uh-huh.
our last 18 games, 11 games has been won by batting first. And like 7 games has been won by batting second. So it almost feels like dew does not have a big impact because
Uh-huh.
18 game is a pretty big enough sample size.
Okay,
But
that's
did you watch? So let us go back to that India and England game because when India was batting, when Abhishek Sharma got out, it felt like everybody else gave something, right? Tilak Verma got
uh,
40 odd run in 20 odd balls. Like everybody was contributing except Abhishek Sharma.
yep.
And then when we talk, yeah, sorry, I
Yeah,
about to
go
say
ahead.
something.
Mhm.
And on the second inning, like that ball that Bumrah ball first to Harry Brook, like slow ball, and he was trying to go down and hit it.
Uh,
That Akshar Patel catch, man, it was pretty crazy, crazy catch.
yeah, so I don't think India dropped any catches this game, right?
No, they did not. They did not in this
Yeah.
game. It
Hmm.
was. Did you see the catch? I think the actual over after the Bumrah's over on 19th over. I think that was the craziest catch I've ever seen. What? Okay, let me ask you something about that. If that kind of catches happen, do you think both fielders should get credit?
Ah, I think I think the first fielder should get credit, like whoever put in the most effort, right, rather than who
In that
completed it,
scenario, feels like yeah.
right? So yeah, but again, it's like who finished the catch and who took the ultimate catch. So that's where it is. But yeah.
Because the if Curran had hit that 4 or a 6, it should
Hmm.
have been completely different game.
Oh yeah.
Because at that point they needed 45 runs from 18 no yeah 45 run no 50 runs from 18 balls, right? And that
Uh-huh.
over went only for 10 with that one no so they needed 40 of 20, and that over only went for 10 run. Hardik Pandya's 19th over only went for 10 run, and that wicket was off the first ball of the inning.
Yep.
Just think about if
Hmm.
that had happened, that means now you need 36 of 11. Like game completely changes.
Hmm. Yeah.
So man, that was a wild catch.
Yep.
And
Like they say,
I
right?
think you
Catches wins the matches, right? So yeah.
yeah, exactly. I feel like today that happened on the England side. They dropped 2 catches, and
Hmm.
on India side they got really 2 good catches, and I think that was the game. But it was a good fight from England, though. It was a really
Yep.
good fight. It almost felt like they maybe like 1 wicket more or 2 wicket more at every point.
Yeah, but again, for the last over, forced ball. What do you think about that? Like 2 runs.
They
I
had they
mean,
had
like,
to go for two. You need 30 runs of 6 balls. So every ball has to go for six. And I think
mhm.
the way Brethel was hitting the ball, I think he needed a strike. I think I don't think it was a bad move.
Yeah, but again, like in the retrospective, right? Like maybe they should have sent Archer before Overton, maybe because Archer did smash like a couple of sixes, I guess, right?
Yep,
So,
he did. He did it. That's
mhm.
why it was only 6 runs. Again, it's kind of tough to say it because you have a decent hitter against a fast bowler. They pretty decent hitter. So it's tough to say that it was a bad move. Again, it looks good because Archer hit those two or three sixes, but again,
Uh,
I don't know. I don't think it would have made a difference
how about India using Shivam Dubey for the last over? I think
because they
he
had no
bowled like
option. They had Akshar Patel, so
uh,
I think that's what they thought is like if they kind of get hold of the spinner, they are going for five, six sixes, So I think that was a decent move. Again, that also kind of shows the problem India might have. It almost feels like they don't have a sixth baller. They
uh,
have a really deep batting team, but I don't think they have a sixth baller. Do you think that might be a problem?
yeah. So Shivam Dubey, the last game, he went for like really crazy amount of run in the last over, right? So
Right.
that makes him like that wonders like why it's maybe Sky thought that it's like 30 runs in the last over is not possible. But yeah, like you said, they don't have good six bowling option. Let's see if they have
Yeah. So
any
if
other.
one or two bowler has a bad day,
Yeah,
more
yeah.
and more I talk to you, I don't know. I feel good about New Zealand. I don't know why. More and more I talk to you, I don't know. I feel New Zealand might win this.
So Abhishek Sharma can bowl too, but he hasn't really bowled a lot. But he can bowl too, by the
I
way.
don't think
So
his confidence is high for him to be bowling. I don't think so.
yeah,
But
but this World
man,
Cup has
okay.
been kind of like that, right? Like Rachin Ravindra. Like if his batting is not working, then his bowling is working. So maybe it might work for him, right? So
But I think, yeah, lately, again, today, like day before yesterday's game was different because they were not really chasing anything and they knew they would win the game when they had 100 something with no outs. So that gave freedom to Rachin Ravindra. But other games too, like he was really out of form coming into the tournament. And it almost feels like his bowling gave him boost to do better on his batting, you know?
mhm. Yeah, so like he's a valuable player, right? He's number three, so and left-hander. So if he gets going, then he has been really good batter as well. So having him in the team itself, so it's very crucial for New Zealand. It's like same thing with
Yeah.
the England to Butler as well, right? He had been struggling with the form throughout the World Cup, but is still there. Same thing with
Yeah, I think
Abhishek
he
Sharma.
was
We talked about
striking
that.
ball pretty. Yeah, today I think he strike ball pretty good, but I think his confidence was too down, like that chicken sink shot.
Yeah, yeah, he was throwing kitchen sink at everything, man. That's yeah, that was the difference, right? It's like when India was playing, it seemed like they were timing it right, placing it right, but like again, England had that target, so they had to go. And like you said, he was not in a good form, so that's why it seemed like he was struggling a lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, this New Zealand final game. What do you think? More and more I talk to you, I feel very good about New Zealand chance. What do you think?
Well, I think India is our favorite here, right? Like India is favorite because they are playing in India again, and they will have like thousands of supporters, like
Hmm.
rooting for them. So yeah, I think India has edge on this one.
I think New Zealand gonna win it. I
Okay.
think I don't know, for some reason I have this deep feeling New Zealand gonna win it because India has a problem with their bowling, except Bumrah.
Uh,
India has a problem with their bowling. Their batting, Abhishek Sharma is not really batting well at all. So if they can some way, somehow stop Sanju Samson, I don't know. I would say it's 60-40 New Zealand. You don't
60
agree?
40. I think it's more like 55-45 for me. 55 India, 45 New Zealand. But again, New Zealand is a really strong team, right?
Okay, what's your case? What's your case? Okay, uh, we just talked about the six bowler problem. We talked
Uh-huh.
about what will happen if Sanju Samson gets out. What's your answer to that particular question?
Well, India has been winning every game because of their batting, right? Like they are just kind of like maintaining the win with their bowling. But their
Hmm.
biggest advantage or biggest power is their batting, right? Every batter can bat as if like there's no tomorrow until like eight, right? So it's a very deep batting lineup for them. So if New Zealand can get a couple of wickets, at least a couple of wickets or three in the power play, then it will add pressure to India, right? If India is batting second, right, uh, then they will be in added pressure depending on how much they're able to score New Zealand, right? So yeah, that's my take on that.
So the way I was thinking, today they scored 253 runs.
Mhm.
Out of that, 92 runs was scored by Sanju Samson. So rest of the team scored 160 runs,
Yep.
61 runs.
Uh,
Sanju Samson scored that in 48 balls. That is 6 over. So the rest of the team only scored 10 and over. So I'm again, as I said, yes, I understand. I think Bumrah gonna be a big factor, especially if New Zealand are chasing, because that would create like I think if New Zealand gonna bat first, I think it's 70-30 New Zealand.
yeah.
I truly believe so because what they can afford to do at that point when they are setting the target is they can see off Bumrah for 5, 6, 7 runs and over, and they can attack rest of the 16 over.
Uh,
Uh, but if they're batting second, I think they're gonna run into the same problem that England run in today. That they they just had Bumrah on back of their mind and he was just hovering around them. So
yeah, I agree. Like if New Zealand bats first, then that will be advantage for New Zealand definitely.
yeah, big advantage to New Zealand. Anything else you thought about semi-final? Any specific thing? Anything that you find interesting that we did not talk about?
So one thing for me was Sanju Samson played like really well against West Indies, right? And I was wondering if he could repeat it again uh, against England, and he kind of did, right? So I think it will
He
be very
did big
hard.
time. I mean, 92 run is good. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly, right. So I think it will be test of his test if he can do it like three times in a row, right? So let's see how it
that
goes.
would be nuts. So
Yeah.
okay, let me ask you. Let me ask you. We don't know what's gonna happen. If India wins, who would be the MVP of finals, like MVP of the tournament, most valuable player?
Uh, I think.
If India wins, I don't think most valuable player has to do anything with the finals game unless and until the finals game that particular one person does overwhelmingly good. It's like
Uh,
overall tournament. So who do you think should win MVP if it's India? And we'll come back to New Zealand too.
hmm. I think it will either be Sanju Samson or Bumrah.
Yeah, I think so too. Unless and I think it's gonna be Sanju Samson. Unless and until something crazy happens in final where let's say India bats first 180 runs and then they need 10 runs of last over and somehow Bumrah does not give that 10 run. I feel like Bumrah would be otherwise. Yeah, I think it would be Sanju Samson. What about New Zealand side?
For New Zealand, I think whoever wins the game
Then
should
the
be.
finals game,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Or it's kind of interesting because I feel like Rachin Ravindra has had a really good
Uh,
games, but his games has been a quiet, good games. It was
Mhm.
not been a flashy. If it was England, it would be Will Jack. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm a big Will Jack fan, but yeah. Anything else we want to talk about?
yeah, I guess that's about it. I hope we won't have one-sided game in the final.
Yeah, I
And
hope so too. It'll be
yeah,
boring.
so whoever wins, they're gonna set a record, right? If India wins, it's gonna be first team to win three T20I World Cup, and it will be New Zealand's first World Cup. So there is some stake on that.
Right, right. Well, we'll see, and I think we're gonna be back over here after finals to talk about finals. Uh, Anything else you wanna add, or I think we should get going.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, everyone, have fun. Best of luck to both team for finals, and we'll see you guys after finals. Thank you very much.